Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you today. This is a good one. All right, happy to pull up this screen. Yep, looks like we got our guy, Jake Merklinger. He is a very elite QB. He has committed to the Vols. We're going to talk all about that. The Vols have flown up the rankings after this commitment. And yep, we are so back.
Mortimer, we're back.
Yep, look, we've been back for the last 12 months, but it's so nice to just be able to go out there and compete against Georgia and all these big-time schools for quarterbacks and go just grab what we want. And this guy is very highly ranked. And again, it's Jake Merklinger. He's number 55 nationally, so he's a very high four-star. And we had talked quite a bit about Jaden Davis, who is a five-star out of North Carolina, and he was looking heavily at the Vols as well. I wasn't quite sure about him. He's actually committing tomorrow, March 31st. But Jake came in, and we talked about this the last couple of days, came in and said, well, he's going to announce March 30th. And I think that was a play to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take my spot with the Vols, and then Jaden, you can do as you please, but just know I'm already there. And I think that was a move to take that position away and then say, look, Jaden, do you really want to compete with me, or would you rather go somewhere where you can be the big dog? That tells me a couple of different things. Number one, he really wanted to work with Josh Heupel and be part of this huge offense, number one in the country last year. He wanted to build his game in that environment and under that tutelage. I think that's the right word. Doesn't sound right. But anyway, I can understand that because, look, he wants to come to Miramar, which is Knoxville now. Knoxville is now Miramar.
The elite, best of the best. We'll make you better.
That's exactly right. He'll make you better, and he will make this guy better. Now, let's take a look at the commitment, and then we're going to talk all about this, and I'm going to show you highlights of this dude because he's very, very good.
Now, with all that being said, I'm excited to announce that I'll be committed to University of Tennessee.
And now you can see the Vols, and Go Vols 247's already updated the rankings. We're now number 6 in the country. Here you can see Jake's our highest ranking commitment at number 55 in the country. Jonathan Eccles, who is either going to be a tight end or he might be a defensive end, a great athlete. Of course, we know about J.J. Harrell, a very good wide receiver. He just committed a week or two ago. Caleb Beasley, a very good cornerback, very good, as a matter of fact, number one player in the state of Tennessee. Gorey, who is a very nice four-star, and then Carson Gentle, which that's an interesting name because this guy's not gentle. He's strong as an ox. I've actually looked into this dude, and he's shown as a 3-star, but he's a good get. I don't care what the ranking says. He is not gentle. But it's nice to be up in the top 10, heavily in the top 10. And I told you we need to be in the top 5 this year, and I think we're going to get there. We are in on a bunch of good players, you know, Mike Matthews, Ryan Wingo, a couple of 5-star wide receivers. Matthews might be a cornerback or a defensive back. Williams Namari, there's so many guys. Boo Carter, Edwin Spillman. Guys, I think we're going to pick up several of those. So I really like where we're headed. And, you know, we're kind of the hot ticket right now, and it's understandable why. You know, when you have the number one offense in the country and your defense was marginal, but it's improving, you can see, you know, if we improve that defense, we are going to be very dangerous very quickly.
That's right. Nice, man. I am dangerous.
That's right. We're in the Maverick mode right now. So let's take a look at some of this guy's highlights, and you'll see what kind of a player he is. And this guy's a winner. He's used to winning a lot of games, and you'll see why here in just a moment. Now this play right here, this looks so much like Hendon Hooker, just that really nice long ball, very accurate, great touch. You know, that's very Hendon Hookerish. Here you go, the nice targeted pass. That was double coverage, and he was the only guy, the wide receiver was the only guy who could get it. Another great long touch pass, and that's really very critical in a Josh Heupel offense, because if you don't hit that guy, that changes the momentum significantly. And again, just another, this guy's also very mobile. Besides having a really good arm. Throws off platform really well. Moves around in the pocket. Then again with that perfect pass, long bomb pass. Great touch. Now you're going to see a speed, excellent speed, very mobile. Now he's not some 4.3 guy or anything, but he can run very well. He's a three-sport athlete, so he can get out of trouble very quickly and he can fool the defense. He does have that sneaky good speed. He doesn't panic in the pocket and, of course, can make the long throw as we've shown many, many times. And this guy had a list of options a mile long. He could have gone to literally any school in the country that he wanted to, and he chose the Vols, and he even jumped a 5 stars commitment date to get there. And here's why I like that. You've got Nico sitting there. You want a guy that really wants to be in Knoxville. He really wants to learn and wants to be a big part of this offense long term. You don't want a guy that's going to pop in there and go, well, I need to be the starter immediately, because that's probably not going to happen with Nico sitting there. You need somebody that really wants to be there. And that's obvious to me that this guy's made that decision and he's in it for the long haul. Now, long haul in 2023 might be 2-3 years. And if he's not starter by then, he might transfer. But that's long-term thinking for a high school football player that's almost a 5-star, because most 5 stars are really high 4 stars. They expect to just, I'm going to walk in and own the place. No, you're going to have to compete, and this guy clearly gets that. Otherwise, he would not have committed to the Vols. He would have gone to a smaller school where he would have been the big dog immediately. And I think that's smart, because you don't just get to walk in. One does not fly into flying. One must walk first. That's from Coming to America. Anyway, you get my point. So I think this is a great get for the Vols, and I'm very pleased about it. And I like to show these charts from time to time. It's understandable why this young man wanted to come play for the Vols. This is Josh Heupel's offense the last 7 years. He just, everywhere he goes, the offense just soars. Here's the 2 coaches that were there, that were at the same place and were struggling until Josh Heupel arrived. And we can go through these numbers, but you can obviously see the point. And this is a little simpler one. This just shows where we were with Big Dummy, Jeremy Pruitt, 109th in the country in offense. First year for Josh Heupel, 39.3, went to 7th in the country, and then 1st in the country in 2022. That's pretty impressive. And if you want to know why a quarterback would want to come to the Vols, these are the quarterbacks in the last 7 years, and here's all their touchdowns up at the top and all their interceptions at the bottom. Of course, Hendon Hooker was crazy good. He had the lowest interceptions of any of them. And then, of course, Joe Milton's got 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So if you're a quarterback in high school and you're looking at these numbers, and this is why I show these numbers all the time, I happen to know that a lot of these recruits watch these type of videos, and you might as well show them, say, look, you know what? Look at all these quarterbacks. Look at these numbers. Do you want these numbers, or do you want to go struggle somewhere else in an offense that's not conducive to a lot of touchdowns? So I'm going to continue to show these types of things so wide receivers and quarterbacks can see. If you want to be coveted by the NFL, if you want to be winning the Biletnikoff Award, or you want to be in the Heisman running, you might want to go to an offense and a coach that's going to get you there, okay, that has a history of getting people there. And we're going to start loading up the NFL with our players. As you know, we've got a bunch of really good players that got to showcase their skills at Tennessee last year, and they're going to go to the NFL in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd rounds. Hendon Hooker's probably going to be, even with a torn ACL, in the late 1st round. Some people are even talking middle or at the front end. I think if he didn't have a torn ACL, he would be the 3rd quarterback taken. That would be my guess, probably in the top 10 or 15. With the ACL, he's probably going to be mid-late 1st round, maybe early 2nd round. But he's going to go for sure. Then you've got an offensive lineman who's going 1st round, who made Will Anderson disappear, Darnell Wright. And then you've got several other really good players, defensive players. Byron Young, looks like he's going to go pretty early. He had a great combine. Jalen Hyatt, obviously. Cedric Tillman. Even Banks is probably going to get selected. and a few more. So I tell you what, I could not feel better about the Vols. They're definitely back, and we are headed in the right direction. This is going to be a very interesting year. A lot's going to have to do with how well Joe Milton plays, how quickly Nico gets up to speed, because as I've said, we really need him to be ready to go just in case of a sprained ankle or any little thing. So super excited, a great commitment for the Vols. And if you're a Vols fan, and you should be feeling really good about the direction the Vols are headed. It's as good as anywhere in the country. And you can tell the national media has really identified Tennessee as the hot ticket, and it's almost killing them to have to say it, but they got no choice. So I did want to cover this. And also, one other thing, I'm going to highlight a company up here in Pigeon Forge today. This is not a paid-for sponsor or anything like that. This is just somebody I've known for over 20 years, and he also helps me sometimes with editing and kind of a tech guru type fella. Anyway, it's Don Fields of Don Fields Photography. And if you're ever up in Pigeon Forge and you want to have family photography, a wedding, they actually can go to your town. Say you're in Knoxville and you want to have a wedding, videography, photography, anything that you need. And they're very reasonably priced. And I've known them and worked with them for over 20 years. And I can tell you their quality is as good as anywhere you could possibly go. Some of their videos that they put together for weddings are amazing. Anyway, this is just some of their work. Like I say, if you want family portraits, they can do all of that for you. In the mountains, they'll take you up into the mountains, get these great shots. If children, weddings, etc. And this is Don and Melissa right here, my good friends. So be sure to check them out if you're in Pigeon Forge, or like I say, if you're in East Tennessee and you want a wedding and you want to have a wedding or anything along those lines, just check out Don Fields Photography. And if you're interested in sponsoring or advertising on this program, just contact me at my email address that you'll see listed, and I'll be glad to talk to you about it. I'm a very reasonable person. Anyway, I hope y'all like this content. I'm super excited about the Vols and this commitment. And again, if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover the Vols. And if you're not subscribed, it's right here on the left. Be sure to check that out. I would certainly appreciate it. And right over here is my most recent video. Be sure to check that out. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk J. This is an excellent day.